Hey folks, bespoke tailor and sewing instructor Ray Robinson, and I'm answering a question from one of my subscribers here on the tube. And it's a sewing question, of course. It's one that has to do with the Coverstitch sewing machine. Which Coverstitch sewing machine is that? It is the Pace Setter Coverstitch from Brother, the 2340 CV. The 2340 CV Coverstitch sewing machine. And the question is how to release the fabric from the machine once you've made your stitch. Now, that if you're used to different types of Coverstitch machines, I'm only used to this one. This is my first Coverstitch machine. It's the only one that I've ever used. So I've adapted pretty well to it because I have no other point of reference, right? So what I'm going to show you here is how to release this particular machine. I do realize that there are some that are much easier, but this is not difficult at all once you get used to a few steps. Now you're going to notice something first of all on this machine. You've got right at the top, that's why I have a separate camera there so that you can see what's on top corresponds to the tension settings that we have right here. We've got 4 different dials, right? These first 3 dials are for, in this case, I've got 3 needles going. Now you could do a cover stitch with just 2 needles, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you with all 3 needles, and then of course you can just make whatever adjustment you need to do after that if you choose to use just 2 needles. So you've got 3 needles and the looper, which is at the bottom, and each one of these has an individual tension that you hold. Once you hold that down when you're threading, but you also hold that down to release the tension. And I'm going to show you why that's important. So now, first of all, I'm just going to do a basic stitch right here. And let's just get a basic stitch going, okay? So in this case, I've got 3 stitches up front. I don't know if you can see the one in the middle. And then you can see the looper on the back, okay? So at this point, how do you remove this from the machine? Well, if this was a serger, you would just keep on going to the end and then you would chain it off. You just keep on pulling and it would make a chain and boom, Bob's your uncle, right? You wouldn't have to deal with that at all. But that's not a cover stitch machine. And you know, I forgot that I had that camera there running. I'm supposed to be looking at you directly in that particular camera. So howdy folks. So let me do this. This is how we release it. It's very simple. I'm going to take these 3 needles and I'm going to turn that until I get them to as high as they will go. Okay? Once they're as high as they will go, I'll stop. Now in this case, some people have fingernails that are nice and they can get under there and grab. We're going to have to grab all 3 of these threads. Some have a fingernail and you'll see them pull one, pull the other, pull the third. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I play the guitar, so I don't have any fingernails. So I'm going to use this nice thin. Now you could also use, if you have a serger and a cover stitch, you definitely have tweezers. You could use this also. You also have a seam ripper. Just don't use the end that's going to feed the thread through and cut it. So I'm going to use these 2 and I'm going to show you something. Because I like to use a 2-instrument approach to this, and it's fast. Okay, so I have the presser foot down. Okay, the presser foot is down, it is engaged. The needles are up at their highest point. I'm going to take something that I can get under there with quickly so that I can pull all 3 needles at the same time. That's going to make sense right now. Between the top, you've got a little guide here, between the top of the needles and right here where there's a secondary guide, I'm going to get in between these 2, okay? So I'm just going to take that and go under, and boom, boom, boom. I've got, at this point, that quickly, I now have all 3 threads connected to this little screwdriver. I'm going to touch the first needle very lightly, the second needle tension, and the third. I've got all 3. Boom, then I can pull about 6 inches or so. Now I'm going to lift the presser foot, okay? And I'm going to take my second instrument. Now I'm going to turn that so that it's not at the cutting edge, right? And I'm going to slip this under so that between the cloth and the presser foot, so that I can grab the top of those threads. Now watch this action here. As I pull back, I'm slowly working myself at the same pace, boom, to meet those threads right at the top. Did that make sense? I just kind of pulled one, and as I did, I let the other one go until it met back there. Okay. Now, that leaves me with these threads right here, the 3 needles. I'm going to clip that, and then just kind of put that to the side. Okay? And now, at this point, I'm going to touch the looper, the bottom thread. Boom. It's going to hold that down just a little bit. And I'm going to pull, starting pulling backwards. Then at that point, I can pull to the side. And what has happened is now we're at a point where we only have that looper thread. So I'm going to clip that. And we'll also see that the threads that were up front pull themselves to the back. So all threads are in the back. And that looper thread, having been pulled, will lock that stitch. But now some people find it handy, excuse me, to go ahead and tie off these back threads. To go ahead and tie it off. There's nothing wrong with that. If it makes you feel more secure, by all means do that. But basically that's the job. That's done. And so you have, boom, one side, the other side, and you successfully pull that out. Now this is ready for the next stitch. And I'll demonstrate that. We'll just throw this under there again. And it is ready. Put that down. And now I'm going to show you how to do that fast in real life. Okay, lift that up. I'll show you just how fast that is. Put that through there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, pull. Now I'm going to lift up the presser foot. Pull that out. Boom. We've got that done. Going to take that, clip it, touch the bottom, boom, and boom, we're released. It's that quick. Bespoke tailor, sewing instructor, Ray Robinson. This is the Coverstitch Sewing Machine. It's interesting, I have to say that a few times for the algorithm to catch it. Coverstitch Sewing Machine, Coverstitch Sewing Machine. Otherwise the tool will not know where to put this particular video, who to show it to. And so with this Coverstitch Sewing Machine, it's the 2340 CV. Hope this has been useful to you. If it has been, please press like, hit subscribe, by all means, hit the bell so you see all of my content. You'll be notified of it. Thank you very much, and we will catch you in the next video.